I gotta kind of keep my voice down because I'm in a household full of sleeping people. But this couldn't wait. I couldn't sit here and let this go another second. If you guys are new to the situation at hand and what's going on, we'll explain briefly, because while this is going on, we want to make sure that it's exposed 100%. So I'm going to let you guys pile in. It's crazy. It's absolute crazy what's happening. And guys, do me a favor, if you can, share the hell out of this. I want you to share the hell out of this right now. This way, this can be exposed. This way, a justice can be done. Can you guys hear me okay? Make sure. Let me see where BJ's at. Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to pause this real fast. Jesse, what's up? How you doing? Hold on. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm going to pause you for a minute. All right, sorry. Guys, what you're about to hear is very, very, very powerful. It's going to be very powerful. I see you, Jess. What's up, Beth? Yeah, listen, those of you that don't know me, my name is Shane Coyle. I expose child predators. Hunt them down. Use my ability. There you are, Bobby. Bobby. BJ, just stay put for 1 second. I'm going to pull you live. And we're going to put this truth to light and the disgusting, sick things that Aaron Carter has said about your deceased sister to rest. Those of you that don't know what's going on, Aaron Carter is a man who's delusionally fabricating so many different things, so many different obscure atrocities that he's gaining public eye to all types of people. Individuals that are seeing him make up the lies about his brother Nick, which that is going to be 100% exposed, and I assure you. And yes, I'm speaking directly to Melissa. Everything that I've said so far was going to happen has happened. And now we're going to put a disgusting lie to bed. If you just seen the YouTube video that I posted on my YouTube channel, you heard Jane Carter, Aaron Carter's mom, who could no longer stand the insanity that Aaron was putting her through during her supposed help that was being blessed by Aaron. Aaron didn't help his mother. He put his mother in some of the deepest, darkest depths of fear while she was on that trip. Didn't even make it to his house. Was kicked out of his car to find her own ride back to where she is now. BJ Carter, Aaron's sister, BJ, who I'm about to bring up on live, knows 200% of all the truths and everything that's going on, knows Aaron's lies, hand in hand, through and through. She has been put through hell herself. Those of you that have heard Aaron speak, you have heard Aaron depict his sister BJ as a drug addict, as a child abuser, as a ruthless, worthless individual. I'm here to tell you that BJ is everything opposite of what Aaron Carter has depicted her to be. And Aaron constantly talks about silencing truth, and he doesn't want anybody to silence him. Well, BJ's been silent for a long time. And after speaking with BJ, I told her it'd be a wonderful idea to bring the truth that she told me out to public, because it's very important not only for BJ's own self-image, not for her, not for her mother, not only for Nick, not only for Lauren, not only for all members of the family, but members of the deceased family as well. Leslie, who's not here to speak her truths, who's not here to say Aaron Carter is lying. And we're going to go ahead and get to that right now. So let's bring BJ, Aaron Carter's sister, who's been through hell and back and is still, unfortunately, sitting in hell because of her brother. BJ, I'm going to pull you live right now. Okay. And BJ, I'm going to let you talk. There we go. Hi, BJ. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I know that's an understatement, and I know that it's been a very emotional day, especially talking with a guy that talks 100 miles an hour like me.
Hold on. I'm really...
Go ahead. Go ahead. Take your time.
See if I can get some light. Okay. That's what they count on me not doing this freaking shit, you know? So
don't worry about it.
About me.
Take your time.
All right. We're good.
How you doing?
Okay.
I know that you are nervous. I know that...
See, I have lots of teeth.
Yeah, she's beautiful. You're beautiful. Everything that Aaron Carter said, obviously everything that Aaron Carter said about his sister BJ is 100% lie.
I had no idea either. That's the sad thing, is that I've been in such a bubble that my mother has put me in, and she had it coming, let me tell you. She deserved everything she got from him. She really did. I'm sorry, she did.
It's okay. There's a lot of anger. And
before
you know what?
They left on that little road trip, they left a path of destruction at me. They caused me eviction.
Wow.
Which is fine because my house is infested with asbestos. I've had to send my daughter away.
God, your 4-year-old.
I watched my mother's dogs and took care of them, and it was a lot of work, believe me, because I'm not in the best health, and it's not because of drugs. I have a medical condition. I'm not ready to discuss. I'm not going to go around and use that for anything. But I worked hard and took care of those dogs, and the money that I was supposed to make from taking care of those dogs was supposed to get me out of this house.
Wow.
So, and then they called Child Protective Services on me, which I got the paper unfounded, and I had the actual chief of police for Hernando County came to my house and said, I'm done letting them railroad you.
And everybody knows, just so everybody knows, I did see the release of investigation of the Child Protective Order on BJ that was wrongfully placed on her due to, again, Aaron's demonic nature and everything going on in BJ's life. So, BJ, congratulations on being proven to be the good mother that you are. So, I say that again with the utmost heartfelt words. That's awesome. For real. So I know that we discussed what we want to talk about, what we don't, and we want to keep a lot at bay till you're ready without forcing you into anything. You had a sister. You had a very beautiful sister named Leslie.
And I was the closest one to her.
Leslie has been getting degraded by Aaron on a daily basis. A lot of wrong things have been being said to the public by Aaron Carter, along with the accusations of Nick being a rapist, which are also untrue, and they will be proven. Aaron Carter, expect us. The allegations that Aaron states about your sister Leslie, can you tell everybody what you've heard him allegating happened to him versus what truly happened?
Well, when he started the allegations, it was when my mom was in her little rehab thing over the summer, and my mom, Aaron took all of the money from the doctor's show, which he was supposed to split with my mom, and went and bought guns with it. He did not inherit any guns from my father. My father had 2 guns left, and he was living in a tour bus. And the only person that got anything from my father was me. I got his toaster and his banana hammock that hangs his bananas on, because his estranged wife got everything because they were still married. We didn't even get his body. So Aaron's full of shit. So that's number 1. Number 2, my dad was not in the military for 25 years. He was in there for a year. He was kicked out because he was selling drugs. Period. You really want to know the fucking truth? There you go.
Well, you know.
So that's number 1. Or number 1 and 2. Man, it's like there's so much. Like I
It's
don't
okay,
even.
yeah. Listen.
I went to I go to therapy, and like the first appointment, she's like, "So, what brings you here?" I'm like, "Where the hell do I start?
Are
like,
you ready? Yeah.
Where do you want to fucking start?" And she's like, "Well." After the session, she's like, "Well, we were only going to see you once a month for 30 minutes. I'd like to see you for an hour every week."
Every day. No.
Twice a week, you know.
Listen, BJ, I turned off commenting. This way nothing can distract you from what you're doing.
Well,
I want you to do me a favor first. BJ,
what?
Before you say another word, I want you to understand that you're an amazingly beautiful woman who has endured every possible kind of negativity known, and nothing else can be done to you that hasn't already been done.
Oh,
you know
I'm
what
not
I mean?
scared of him. I have no skeletons. You know what I mean?
Good.
I'm not a perfect person. I've had my demons, and I've battled with my things, but I don't need to go and get paid to go get help. I know I know the difference between right and wrong.
Amen.
And him and my mother are willing to sell their souls to the devil to get a couple dollars, and those two are two of a kind. So, and that's why they butted heads, you know.
Well, Aaron has spoken so openly and so crazily about his brother Nick, and Nick sold his soul to the devil. And Nick, now this is the same Nick that I see.
He steals my lines too, by the way. I used to write. He used to call me up and say, "Can I write an Instagram something clever for him?" So anything clever was always me.
Okay, well, we're speaking about non-cleverness. He speaks about Nick.
That's a really harsh accusation, you know.
Well,
especially coming from someone like him, got a lot of nerve saying shit like that.
Especially when Nick is on live on Twitter reading Christian stories to his beautiful little ones. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, he didn't bank. Him and my mother both didn't bank on me catching wind of what they were doing, because they've tried to keep me isolated and discredited, and my self-esteem. Like, I always thought I was standing side by side with my mother, but in fact she was standing on top of me, you know. And Aaron always to my face was like, "Oh, I love my big sister." And then I'd see, like, you know, that show on the doctors, and he's like, "I was the one who had to deal with my mom through all her shit. I live next door to my mother. You really want to know who's been dealing with her? Me." He says, "I dealt with all the late night shit. First of all, she didn't drink at night. She drank in the morning." So,
and you know what?
Really,
it's
just
pretty,
list goes on and on, you know.
It's pretty crazy, because I've actually had the chance to speak to Jane, and Jane has seen what Aaron's doing, and it's almost like she's completely distanced herself from him now, because she sees what he's doing and where he's about.
She's always a victim too. She's full of it. Don't let her fool you. Please don't. She's always a victim. She has taught him. Those two are always the victim, you know. And for somebody like Aaron to jump on that Me Too movement when he's got that skeleton lingering in his closet that I know about, he's got a lot of fucking nerve, let me tell you.
Well, it's time to take that skeleton out. Take me to the night that you and I spoke about, when Leslie was, your sister Leslie, who's now deceased, rest in peace, God bless her soul. Take me to the night Leslie was laying in the room with you for hours on end.
I mean, Leslie always had some behavioral issues, and she was kind of labeled like she was bipolar before anybody knew what bipolar was, you know, because she was constantly being labeled as the bad kid in the family, and I think that kind of made her a target for Aaron, even at a very young age. You know, however it happened, I don't know, but you know, I don't know.
Want me to guide you? It's okay.
No, I just don't. I don't know.
You let it out of your heart. Bro.
I feel like it's just adding more fuel to the fire. Like, I just don't know. It's like,
well, let's put it this way, hon.
The truth of it is, it didn't happen the way that he said it did. Okay.
Aaron states that his sister
there was blackmail involved with it, because Aaron knew that he was the money maker and the golden child, and Leslie was the bad one, and nobody would believe her, and he wouldn't leave her alone, and she was tormented by it. And so you read between the lines. You know what I mean?
Aaron states,
I cannot physically fucking say it. You know what I mean?
Aaron states here. Let's put it this way. Aaron states that his deceased sister Leslie raped him and molested him for years.
The other way around.
Okay. And that's what is so
And
important
I
for
was the
people to
one
know.
that found out. It took me hours to get it out of her, and it was like hitting a brick wall. And he's always been so emotionless. He only cries for himself, you know. I mean, I just I can't fathom that he does not understand, like, that his lot, like, people there, I know the truth, that
Yeah.
they put me in this little hole, in this little box, to try to keep me quiet, and I've been quiet for a long time. But Aaron knows that when I speak the truth and only the truth.
Amen.
You know,
God.
They tried to do everything they could before they left to discredit me and have me Baker acted. Couldn't do it. Why? Because I don't have any skeletons.
Amen.
So, and they did that for a reason. And I say they because my mother and him were in 100% cahoots. Okay, she and him. I had enough when I saw the video, the Instagram thing. I wasn't on Instagram or any of that at that time. I guess I had one the whole time. I didn't realize I had it. I forgot. But I heard him. I knew that when those pictures of him in the hospital, and you know, it was all staged and boo-hoo, poor
curled
Aaron,
up like a fetus.
You know, was there ever a diagnosis or a reason stated? No.
He was driving that night.
Doctor shopping.
Yeah.
Okay. He asked me. Okay, because I worked up the courage. I had a restraining order on my mom, a temporary restraining order, because of what she has been doing to me. And the day that her and Aaron were going to leave, I was supposed to be going to court to get the permanent one. I didn't go for two reasons. One, because I was threatened and intimidated that they were there waiting for me, and I was going to regret it. Okay?
Yeah.
So I didn't go. Number two, because I don't have a car anymore, because my mother, who has 3 cars now, I took over the payments on her car and then never got it in writing. And so she took it back. Now I have no car. So
wow.
I didn't get there. And so I rented a car that day, and I worked up the courage all day, right? And I went over to my mom's house. She lives next door to me. And I banged on that door. Well, Aaron came out of there like a bat out of hell, all bugged out, right? Because he's manic all the time.
Yeah. And
I mean,
more than likely under the influence.
I mean, who knows? Like, it's something. It's always something. I mean, how can somebody say they're in recovery like that? Like, I mean, it's such a freaking joke, Aaron. Like, when are you going to fucking be a man and fess up? You have a better chance of saving your career, possibly, if you fess up to your shit and be a man and stop talking about the love and the this and the lies and for me. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah,
okay?
and the biggest
all
thing,
bullshit.
and I know, but for the people watching, did you see his confession on my Facebook page of him admitting all the text messages to the underage girls and all that? Did you see that yet?
Oh, he thinks he can make a statement and get off. Oh, I was on drugs. First of all, that phone never leaves his hand. Second of all, everybody's got a freaking passcode on their phone. That's the biggest cop-out bullshit lie I ever heard. Aaron, come off of it. Dude,
Thank
for
you.
real, you fucking serious.
Thank you. And what I stand for, I had to step back.
It's always somebody's hacked or this or that. He was dead for 3 days. I mean, fuck, Aaron, really? When are you gonna fucking see that you look like a moron? You know? I mean, come on.
He's going to have plenty of time to do that, but it might be the reflection of a toilet.
It's insane. He thinks he's untouchable. I mean, he literally thought he was going to take my daughter away from me.
It's disgusting that he did that.
I said it'll be a cold day in hell over my cold dead body, motherfuckers.
And
I got no skeletons anymore. Baby.
And let me say this again. Congratulations on proving the fact that you are a good mother, and the fact that Aaron tried to have your
I shouldn't have had to do that, but I was
disgusting.
glad to do it.
But that's just another vision, another proof that Aaron's lies and his vengeful tactics of the Joker, so to speak, are just sick. It's
so crazy. Like, why isn't a professional, why isn't a doctor analyzing him? They're sending freaking police officers and orderlies over. They don't know how to. He's freaking Ted Bundy. I mean, like, you know, he's on the verge. He's that psychopathic, you know.
Or either that or Jerry Sandusky.
He thinks he's charming, and he knows how to fast talk you and he'll talk over you into submission. But he's he knows better with me because I'll call him on his shit,
And that's what you're doing right now. And you know what?
I've had it.
You've
didn't want to have to do this. I really didn't. I would have been happy to live a quiet life, but they fucked with me one too many times.
And that's all you could take.
My reputation. No wonder fucking nobody ever talked to me because my mother.
You're suffering right now. You're suffering, and it's hard to sit back and watch your little brother jump on a tour while he's got child predatorial nature, while he's depicted your sister who's deceased as claiming that your sister raped him when, as you say, it was the other way around. Leslie told you this, right?
And I confronted him about it, like whenever he thinks my mom.
Tell me about that. Wait. BJ? Bear with me, guys. BJ, I'll pull you back up if it falls. Hang tight, guys. BJ, I'm going to pull you back up. Ready? Okay, hold on. Guys, if you can, I'm going to bring BJ back up. BJ, I'm going to pull you back up, hon. Thanks.
I think I got hacked. Aaron hacked me. He's out to get me.
Oh, God, I have to laugh. That's great. And you noticed that, right? So you noticed it too.
He's hacked me. They're coming to get me.
Aaron hacked you. Oh, sorry. That's funny as shit, man. We're telling ourselves so serious. I got to laugh. It's good. BJ, listen.
I was scared, though. Like him and my mom. Like my mom, she left her gun in my house while she went to rehab. And then her and I got in a fight 3 days later because she dropped off some random chick at my house, didn't even ask if she could stay here, left her here for me to babysit. We got in a fight. She called the cops and told the cops I broke into her house and stole the gun in front of my daughter on Halloween. My daughter is bawling hysterically, and I'm like looking in her eyes for some kind of like love, like, that's not true. You put it in my fucking lobster pot. Like, what the fuck, I mean, and my daughter Bella goes, well, you can take the fingerprints off the lobster pot. And she's running around telling my grandma tried to have my mommy arrested on a false gun charge. And
that's so sad.
I wasn't able to take her trick-or-treating. And then I got a text message from my mother saying that I should be ashamed of myself. Thanks, Mom.
What do you think of Aaron's GoFundMe page?
He doesn't have any money. He's broke. He's saying that the whole family wants is money. He doesn't have any.
Well, he apparently paid me 6 figures.
And now he's really fucked because he's dug himself into a hole where he's probably not going to get any work.
So then it's safe to say that by him putting up a GoFundMe, and the day before he was stating that he had a $4.8 million contract, I lied and co-signed. I was like, yeah, I saw it. Of course,
Did he get that while he was dead for 3 days?
Yeah. Then he re-rose and came back.
My perspective on that is that he is freaking out and he is desperately trying to get out of the United States, and he thinks he can run to Canada. He's running away from something.
Well, God is my witness. If Leslie were alive, he would be in prison now. When Leslie told you this, did you have any inclination that he was doing this before Leslie told you?
Never.
Nothing.
I was fucking floored. I couldn't. And it was real. I believed her. Like it took me hours to coax it out of her. Nobody else could do it. And then Aaron was the golden goose. So nothing.
Tell me about.
He had that power. He knew it. So
tell me about when Leslie told you. You told me on the phone, but I think it's important to know her state of mind when she was telling you and what her reactions were.
She had been a wreck for a long time, and everybody was, like wanting to put her in like special schools, and she was acting out. But I knew she was hurting. Something was wrong, And that's my sister. Like that was like when I was a little girl. Like she was my baby doll. I played baby doll with like that was my sister, and. As mean as she could be sometimes, there was a reason for it, And whether or not like it was a mutual thing in the beginning or what, I don't know. It could, if that's one side of it. I do understand that, but I know what I felt, and I know the condition my sister was in at that time, and he really shouldn't have rattled this cage. I'm telling you, he really shouldn't have.
Amen. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard for you to talk about it, but I don't want any falsehoods out there created off of what you and I are saying.
It's embarrassing, like why didn't my mother or father do anything about it? And I've been living with the torment my whole life too, of being the one that found out, and I feel like I should have done something more for her.
Did Aaron?
My fucking mother wouldn't do a damn thing.
When did Aaron start saying that she did it to him? Was it when she died?
He never even talked about it until, like, he wanted to jump on this movement with this girl. Never. He wouldn't even discuss it.
Was Leslie dead when he came out with it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
he knew better than to do.
So he claimed this. Yeah. He claimed this act of rape on your sister, who's deceased. He claimed that he was raped by her, knowing that she couldn't defend herself, and knowing the truth that you're speaking, that he actually raped and molested her. And then he jumped on this movement with this Melissa girl. And together, my opinion is that they formulated this charge of rape on Nick from Melissa, when in all actuality, maybe there was a one-night thing with Melissa and Nick, but I don't believe for a second.
I remember those girls in the studio, and they were out slutting their asses all over the place. So please, you're full of shit, okay? They haven't been in the limelight for a long time. I watched those girls as a little girl out whoring around and sticking their ass out for any boy bander that would take them. So,
amen.
Bullshit. And little Miss Ashley, I caught her screwing Aaron on the tour bus and ripped her out by her hair. So she wants to post mugshots of me of something I did 20 years ago. Big fucking deal. I don't care. I don't drink anymore. And that's all you got on me? Good for you. That's it? Is that the best you got?
Post a mugshot up any day.
I've dealt with a lot worse. You know what I mean?
And how do you think?
I'm not scared of these girls.
You don't have to be. And you're going to have a lot of support after this video.
And they should be ashamed of themselves, quite
frankly. Listen, honestly, BJ, you're going to
have absolutely ashamed of themselves.
You're going to have a lot of support.
How dare they take advantage? I mean, honestly, Aaron is not well, but that does not excuse his behavior.
Not
because
at all.
He does know the difference between right and wrong.
Amen.
Okay?
And text messaging 15-year-old
when you're
pictures
insane
of this.
and you kill somebody and they say, yeah, well, you are fucking crazy, but you did know the difference between right and wrong, so you're still going to fucking fry for it. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
I mean,
Aaron's text messages to the 15-year-old girl, his assistant sister at the time, his text messages, they're all over the place. You could see them right after the girl states that she's 15.
He thinks he can talk his way out of everything. I heard him.
Rajul, yeah. And right now he's probably saying that he's hacked, and that I'm hacked, and you're hacked.
I was hacked last week by,
yeah.
I was hacked.
And it's the truth. The truth is he's a hack. And he's really, really got to be held accountable for his actions. Not only his actions towards children, minors, as a pedophilic nature, but his actions to his deceased sister.
And how dare he say Nick is a rapist? What a horrible, horrible thing to say. And knowing that it's not true, and knowing what he's got in his closet. How dare he?
Exactly.
Nick, you know what? Nick and I are 2 years apart, okay? We grew up very, very, very close. He was never, ever aggressive towards women. And quite frankly, when he never had to be later on. They threw themselves at him.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, are you kidding me? That's just not true. Aaron is so completely jealous of Nick because Nick had a career that continued on. But Aaron is the cause of Aaron's career not continuing on. It's not my mom. It's not my dad. I mean, they played the factors into it. But ultimately, Aaron made poor choices, okay? Yeah. And now he's making even poorer choices, which he's sabotaging himself even more, okay?
Well, this is something that's so big and so important. Aside for the respect of your sister, God bless her soul, this is for children out there and women out there. I mean, it can be anybody at any point in time. Not only that, but for the voice of accusation to accuse your brother Nick of this. And what I'm going to say, my opinion is that Aaron has got this girl, Melissa Schumann, so pulled into him and scared that he's probably narrated this entire fabricated story against Nick And they ran with it together because look at the fame that Aaron's trying to get off of saying that your sister.
Oh, they're feeding. I believe they're probably
the
feeding off of each other, and that she's just trying to keep her 15 minutes. And it's really shameful that this Me Too movement was started for a good reason, and now it's hard to distinguish the phonies now. You know what I mean? And that's a really bad thing to try to infiltrate when it's not true, and those girls should be ashamed of themselves. They really should. It's just disgusting. I mean, I'd like to have a few words with them, quite frankly.
Well, you're having your words right now. I promise you. You're going to have a lot of support, BJ. You're going to have a lot of support. People out there.
I'm going to get a lot of pushback for this, too. I'm telling you.
But you know what? What's right is right. What's true is true. And what's devastating still continues, and it has to end. And Aaron has to be stopped.
I don't talk that much on this shit, and my mom and Aaron counted on me not ever seeing any of it or knowing, but slowly but surely I started to figure out that they were utilizing me as their scapegoat, because I had publicly been through issues and everything like that. And, I haven't spoke to Nick in 8 years. And I didn't speak to Nick in 8 years because I needed him when Leslie died. Aaron was fucking going out of his mind, driving me nuts and going psycho. Angel had her husband now. I had nobody. I needed my big brother. And he wasn't there for me. And he wasn't there for Leslie because he said he couldn't handle it mentally. Do you think any of us could? You think I wanted to see my sister cold and dead without anybody to be there to help me up?
People handle things totally differently in all aspects of life. And I think the pain that you have right now, Nick shares with you in his own sort of way, the same way.
I didn't do what I did to hurt him. I did it because I was hurt, and he should have been there. Whether it was mentally damaging to him or not, it's death. It's mentally damaging to everybody involved. Suck it up. I needed you. You were the oldest, the big brother. Where were you? You were less than 2 hours away in the same state. So, no, I'm not sorry that I did what I did. I'm sorry that it ruined he's forgiven Aaron for many things over the years, but I'm not good enough for this family. I'm not good enough for forgiveness for anything. Even when it was something that I said that was true, I was shunned for the rest of my life.
I don't think, and I think honestly that a lot of the stuff that's been laid to rest and dormant has caused a lot of unknowingly or unaware feelings and assumpted feelings, so to speak. I think it's assumed by him a certain way and assumed by you a certain way, but really in the middle somewhere there might be resolution and clarification.
Nobody's ever tried to build a bridge again.
Well, let's build this bridge.
It's not her place to do that,
Oh.
And I don't know, it's ego, but I've spent all these years. I think about it sometimes, and I'm like, another year goes by, and I'm like, what's going to happen? I'm going to get to 20 years, and my brother shunned me for that,
You would love to have.
I feel like I'm not good enough for anybody in this family.
Let me ask you this question, BJ.
Because they want me to be censored.
Well, you would love to have a relationship of love and care with your family again. Am I right?
Well, I didn't do this for that. And like I said, my point of it is what I said, what I was getting to, I'm getting sidetracked, is that I did not defend Nick with the expectation of anything, period. I don't expect him to call, write, send flowers, nothing. I don't give a shit. Okay. I defended him because it was not true and it was wrong.
Amen.
What was being done to him. Okay? Amen. Period. And I even defended my mother a little bit. My mother has taken good care of those dogs. And she shouldn't have smacked the dog like that. Definitely not. But, man, those dogs, when they jump on you, they do hurt.
That's what I tried to explain to everybody.
Okay? Sometimes you do got to, get them off of you. But, I mean, I don't know. I didn't watch the thing. I don't know how it was perceived. But my mom, she got a little bit too much pushback for that. I will say that.
She got
That's
too
my
far.
opinion. Those dogs are psycho. You don't understand. I would pick the dogs out of the cage when I was watching them for 3 months, and they were walking me. They were, there was a couple times I, fell on the ground trying to,
Yeah, PETA.
That Jaja dog that she smacked, she used to run away from me, and I'd be out in the street chasing her, crying for 45 minutes because that bitch wouldn't come to me. You know what I mean? For 45 minutes, I'm like, somebody in my freaking nightgown, somebody help me, you know?
Well, I think it's important, like, too, when you have an animal, a pet. I have 4 birds, 4 macaws, the biggest macaws. They're like $3,000 birds. And when they get too loud, I choke them and I put duct tape around their beak. No, I'm just kidding. I'm better.